Hi kids! Welcome to Module 2, Day 1, Lesson 1 in Journalism 7 session. And I want you to join me to uncover Campus Journalism Act of 1991. And for our lesson objectives, you'll be able to discuss specific provisions of RA 7079 or the Campus Journalism Act. Okay, let's recall. Broadcast journalism, information function. How about journalism? Wow, excellent. Opinion function. Great. How about print journalism? Excellent. And then let's have this one, newly found word. So these words, we can say that it really relates to our lesson, Campus Journalism Act of 1991. An institution for learning that comprised of the studentry, administration, faculty, and non-faculty personnel. Let's try to see if we got it right. Very good. It's cool. Printed material that is independently published by and which meets the needs and interests of the studentry. Hmm. Okay, let's try to see if we got it right. Okay. Next, a group of student writers that determines the direction of the publication's policy and standards. Let's try to see if we got it right. Okay. Excellent. A bona fide student enrolled for the current semester or term who has passed or met the qualification and standards of the editorial board. Mhm. Okay, so let's try to see if yes, it's correct. Okay, what is RA 7079 or the Campus Journalism Act of 1991? An act providing for the development and promotion of campus journalism and for other purposes. And be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the Philippines in Congress assembled. So it means to say that to make with a law. That's why enacted. And then section 1, the title, Campus Journalism Act of 1991. So you have there section 2, Declaration of Policy, and then it entails by promoting responsible and free journalism. And most especially, the development and growth of campus journalism contains the ethical values, encouraging critical and creative thinking, developing moral character and personal discipline of the Filipino youth. Okay, so definition of terms. So we use the term school and then it is being defined in this Law that an institution for learning in the elementary, secondary, or tertiary level comprise of the studentry, administration, faculty, and non-faculty personnel. While student publication, printed material that is independently published by and which meets the needs and interests of the studentry. And student journalist, a bona fide student enrolled for the current semester or term. And then we have to take note here, maintain a satisfactory academic standing. Next, editorial board. So it's for tertiary level, and then you have here composed of a duly appointed faculty advisor, representative of the Parents Teacher Association, so that determine the editorial policies to be implemented by the editor and staff members of the student publication concerned. And at the tertiary level, no, you have their editorial policies, a set of guidelines by which a student publication is operated and managed, taking into account pertinent laws as well as the school administration's policy. Student publication. So, once the publication is established, its editorial board shall freely determine its editorial policies and manage the publication's funds. And of course, no, composed of students selected but fair and competitive examinations. Funding of student publication. So, savings of the respective schools, appropriations, student subscriptions, donations, and other sources of funds. So, the Department of Education, Culture, and Sports or the school administration concerned withhold key release of funds sourced from the savings of the appropriations of the respective schools. Okay, publication advisor. So, selected by the school administration from a list of recommendations submitted by the publication staff. Security of tenure. A student shall not be expelled or suspended solely on the basis of articles he or she has written, or on the basis of the performance of his or her duties in the student publication. You have to remember the basis of this tenure is the performance of his or her duties in the student publication. So it's your performance, not the way you write. Next, press conference and training seminar. Okay, so the DepEd sponsor periodic competitions, press conferences, and training seminars in which student editors, writers, and teacher advisor of student publications in the elementary, secondary, and tertiary level shall participate. So, competitions like institutional, district, division, and regional levels, and most especially the annual National Elementary, Secondary, or Tertiary School Press conferences in places of historical and or cultural interest in the country. And then rules and regulations. So journalists at the tertiary level and existing organization of student journalists shall promulgate the rules and regulations necessary for the effective implementation of this act. So we have to follow its rules and regulations. And of course, tax exemption. So campus journalism as provided for this act shall be exempt from donors or gift tax. Appropriations. So the sum of 5 million pesos is hereby authorized to be charged against the savings from the current appropriations of the Department of Education. Thereafter, such amount as may be necessary shall be included in the General Appropriations Act. And effectivity, this act shall take effect after 15 days following the completion of its publication in the official gazette or in at least two newspapers of general circulation. So approved July 5, 1991. So to end our discussion, Campus Journalism Act of 1991 to protect and uphold the freedom of the press at the campus level. Next, to promote the developmental growth of campus journalism, and of course, to mandate the DepEd and the national officers to implement rules and regulations such as establishing student publication, training, and press conferences related to campus journalism. That ends our discussion, and then hope that you've learned something about RA 7079. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on our virtual class. Bye!